Well, we're backstage at CrimeCon talking with Debbi Domingo. Debbi, tell everybody why you're here this year.
Well, it's a really long story, but everybody here has a really long story, right?
Yeah.
When I was almost 16 years old, my mom and her boyfriend were murdered by an intruder in our house. And initially, the case went cold pretty quickly. I went for about 20 years of just believing the case would never be solved. I'd never have answers. I battled depression and drug addiction and homelessness and just a bunch of mess. Eventually, I had a kind of a miraculous experience, and I was able to put things back together.
Right.
And at the same time that was happening, investigation was kicking up. Linking my mom and Greg's case into a series that everyone now knows as the East Area Rapist Golden State Killer series.
Right.
So the miracle of DNA got us an identity in 2018, and that perpetrator is now serving multiple terms of life in prison. So.
What a story. And that is the condensed
It's a long
version.
story,
Right.
and that was it, yeah.
But during all of those years, when you're battling your own demons and you're waiting for justice, hopefully on behalf of your family members, did you think a suspect would ever be caught?
There was something in those first 20 years, I didn't. I thought that there was no hope, because I knew that investigators had really beaten the bushes. I knew that they had rattled every tree they could find. They did their work, and they came up empty-handed. And so I really felt like all hope was lost. And I had never heard of DNA. I didn't know anything about it. And most people in the 80s and early 90s had no idea.
Right.
So yeah, it wasn't. I was kind of hit out of the blue in about 2000 or 2001. Investigators just found me where I'd moved all over the country a couple different times, and investigators found me and said, we've reopened your mom's case, or we are actively investigating your mom's case, and we believe it may be connected to other cases, rapes and murders. And I was just blown away at that possibility. And they said, have you ever heard of the East Area Rapist? And I was like, no, who's that? So that began, a 20-year journey for me of trying to learn as much as I could, not just about my mom's death, but about all these other rapes and murders. And this guy was just a piece of work.
How many that we know of total women? How many victims?
I can't give exact numbers, but I think it's in the area of 50 rapes and 13 confirmed murders.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, we were talking yesterday during lunch. We happened to run into each other at lunch, and you said you got a call one day. Was it he's been caught?
Yeah, it was. It was so funny. I spent years, connecting with people online, these, internet discussion groups, and the whole thing just evolved over a period of several years. And one night I was on my laptop doing I worked as a correctional officer during the day, and at night I'd come home and I'd get on the laptop and try and connect with people and learn things and publicize stuff, and so I'm up late one night on the computer, and people start sending me messages like, hey, I heard there's been an arrest. Is that true? And I'm like, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. I haven't heard anything official. So I kept hearing that stuff throughout the evening, and so I'm digging in, trying to find, is it true? Does anybody know anything? And just after midnight my time, I was in Texas. My cell phone rang, and I looked, and it was the district attorney from Sacramento, from her personal cell phone, calling me at after midnight. And I looked at it, and I just took a deep breath. I'm like, this is it. She's going to tell me that we got him. And I answered, and that's exactly what she said. We got him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Unbelievable moment.
Okay, so the series is called, you said it's on Hulu? The series, did you say, was there a documentary made about the case?
Well, there've
several?
been dozens, yeah. Myself and several of the other survivors, it's just spent a couple of years of
Right.
trying to rattle every cage we could. So we were on 48 Hours and Crime Watch Daily, and
Right.
I don't know.
I must have seen one on
bunches of
Hulu
shows
that I thought was on Hulu. Maybe it was a repeat of the 48 Hours or something.
That's possible. HLN did a great series called Unmasking a Killer. That's actually kind of one of my favorites because I had personal relationships with the producer there.
Okay.
So
that's the one you recommend for people to watch.
My favorite is Unmasking a Killer.
Okay,
Yeah.
Unmasking Your Killer.
I think it's available on Prime. You can buy it on Prime.
Okay, great. We're so glad you're here. Thank you for telling your story.
It's really great to meet you.
Yeah, good
I'm
to
glad
you
you're
too.
here.
Yes.